All right, we are here at AudioVice Live 2025, Raleigh, North Carolina, with my boy Don. Don, how you doing, Don?
I'm doing great, much better.
So we are excited. This is the 4th year in a row we're covering this show. Let's go check out what's inside, what's new from all of our favorite vendors. All right, man, this place is bussing. There's a lot going on here. We got the classic Bowers & Wilkins Nautilus speaker, man. This is iconic. We've covered this before in ad nauseum. Always beautiful to look
Still a
at.
classic, Gene.
Epson's got some new projectors. We're gonna check out the Epson new projectors.
Yeah, I think it's up the way.
All right, so Don, last night I was at the press event. We got to hear this Marantz Epson room.
Right.
And they played Furiosa.
Love that movie.
And the new Epson projector, man, the brightness on it, the black levels, and the price.
Epson's killing it. I mean, I think they've killed it for a long time. I think the value that they've presented, the value proposition from Epson's always been fantastic. And as an integrator forever, Epson's had about the best flexibility as far as installation of any company out there. I'm a huge fanboy of Epson.
The cool thing about it is they did this whole room. It's a 7.4 system with a 120-inch Stewart screen and the Epson projector and a Denon A10H. And the whole system was about 20 grand.
Yeah, and it was
they used the Polk Reserve system.
7.4 too. It wasn't even an Atmos.
And I didn't even know it was an Atmos. I figured there was height channels. I didn't look around, but I was getting a really immersive sound. So let's go check it out and get some more details. All right, so we just got a demo here of this system. You said the whole system is about 20 grand.
It's about
retail,
20
right?
grand.
Phil Jones, by the way.
What's up,
Phil
everybody?
Jones.
Yeah.
I wanted you to give us a rundown of what is in this room.
Okay, so the first thing is Epson is actually showing off one of their newer projectors, the Pro Cinema 9000, and it retails for about $4,000.
Yeah.
2200 lumen projector. Very, very, very good. All the technologies that are found in their latest projectors. And what we wanted to show in this room is that you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a great home cinema experience. So we paired that with a Polk Reserve system. Right now we're currently running a 7.4. So 7 speakers all the way around, R700s in the front, 2 pairs of R600s in the back, and then 4 of the Polk Signature ES12 subwoofers.
Those 12s hit pretty good in
They
a
hit
room
really,
this size.
really good.
Yeah.
And then we're running it off of a A10H, which is actually overkill for this system.
Yeah, you could have used a 6800.
Yeah,
Fine.
if you took a 6800 in here,
Yeah.
you could have this system plus the 4 heights and the projector and the screen for about 20K.
The funny thing is I didn't realize we didn't have height channels last night.
Yeah, that just shows you that the receiver does Atmos, and when he doesn't have the height, it does kind of a virtual for that. And as long as you got a really good bed layer and it's mixed properly, you do kind of get that experience or that feel that it's above you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you dropping the knowledge. Guys, we're going to be checking out the new Epson projectors in the coming year. We've already done the review of the Polk Reserve series. We love these speakers, so check out our reviews on Audioholics. Marantz and Bowers & Wilkins, that's a match made in heaven, is it not?
Exactly. And what we want to do at these shows, and it's nice to be able to show everybody, the consumers and stuff, some of the latest products, as well as these very rare speakers that we actually have here.
So we did a video on the 801 D4 signatures.
Yes.
I was blown away by those speakers. Those were one of the speakers I said I would like to die with. That's how good they were, right? So what are these now?
So as you mentioned, the part of the signatures is of course the upgrades and components and crossovers and things like that, but also the finishes that you can get on a pair of signatures. This year kind of marks our 45th anniversary with Bowers and Abbey Road. So we want to make a speaker that kind of called back and celebrated that heritage. And that's where the speaker comes in. This is the Abbey Road Limited Edition 801. The goal is to take a lot of the character and kind of remind people of that heritage. So internally, when it comes to the internal components, it's an 801 signature. But the difference is the fit and finish. So for example, you'll notice it has red leather on top. That red leather is basically the same color as the seats in Studio 2. Also in Studio 1, there's chairs in the large sound stage where they do all the opera and all of the stuff for like Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that type of stuff in the big choir. It's the same color as the chairs that those people sit on. The wood is called vintage walnut. And it's supposed to be similar or call back to something like the Lady Madonna. The piano that's in the studio that the Beatles played is that color. So it kind of ties in our heritage.
Do I dare ask the price?
These are $70K.
Okay.
And a pair, and there's only going to be 140 pairs of these in the world.
So they're going to be collector's items.
They're collector's items. So if you're looking for a unique looking Bauer speaker that very few people in the world are ever going to have, that's where this speaker actually comes in.
That's pretty cool. So I want to go over the electronics. This is the Link 10N. It's a network 2.1 preamp processor.
Exactly.
Basically.
So this is kind of a cool piece. We have some people who are looking for just an awesome streaming device. That's what this can be. That you want a great
HEOS.
As in HEOS. You want a great headphone amplifier? It's in there. You want a great phono preamp? It's in there. So
moving magnet and moving coil.
Moving magnet and moving coil. And then of course you can also utilize it as your preamp to drive amplifiers. So you can do a lot with this piece.
So these are the Model 10 amplifiers. They are bridgeable?
What we're doing right now is we're using them in biamp.
Oh, you're doing in biamp.
So basically, think of the Link 10 as the leader, and we're biamping. So we're using one Model 10 to biamp the left, and one Model 10 to biamp the right for basically 250, 250 to the left, and 250, 250 to the right.
So Marantz put a lot of technology into this. The DAC, I'm actually under review of this right now. I've been doing bench tests on this piece. It is a gorgeous piece. 73 pounds just for a 2-channel preamp is ridiculous.
Yeah, it actually has 2 toroidal power supplies in it.
I could feel it when I carried this thing up the steps.
Just for the analog stage.
The amplifier is really intriguing because it uses the high power version of the Purify Class D, which is one of the lowest noise, lowest distortion amplifiers on the market. But Marantz puts their own touches on it with HDAM and your own reference design.
Exactly. So basically, when it came to that amplifier, that design is a great design. We aren't buying those boards.
Right.
We bought rights to that design, and then we took that design and said, how do we make it better?
Yeah.
So these boards, every single piece. So think of this piece literally goes into the factory as itty bitty little parts, and it comes out like that. We built all of our boards in our own factory.
Shirakawa, Japan.
Shirakawa, everything. So basically, people look at this product, and I challenge you to find another product that is built to this level at this price point. It's impossible for most companies because we are vertically integrated from top to bottom.
Right.
Low pieces go in, amplifiers come out, and most people can't do that in hi-fi.
What's the price on the preamp and then the amps?
The preamp is $14,000, and the amplifiers are $15,000 a piece.
And you also have a matching SACD player.
And we have a matching SACD player, which I believe is around 12.
Okay, cool.
So it's a great system.
Now, last time I talked to you on a live stream, you said this is the best amplifier Marantz has ever made.
Yes. And it's funny, we've had this conversation where we have so many different amplifiers we could choose from all our brands. And if you talk to our head of engineering, he says this is the best. If you talk to Ogata-san, the Marantz sound master, he put his heart into this thing. And he wanted to build the best thing that he possibly can because he had permission to do so.
That's awesome. When you have unlimited budget, you can go really far with stuff like this.
Exactly.
And economies
of scale. Exactly.
Yeah.
So even at 15 grand, I challenge you to find something with multiple layers of the shielding, the way that this is built on the inside. The inside of it is an absolute work of art. And if you look at the inside of that, I challenge you to take the lid off of anything else that's anywhere near its price point and ask yourself, are they built the same? They're not. Because most people can't build it from little parts to a box coming out.
Yeah.
They have to buy stuff from other people, and we don't do that.
So man, what did you think about the Epson and the whole Polk system with the Denon receiver? I thought that was pretty damn good for 20.
I got to tell you, so first of all, that projector at $4,000 is ridiculous.
The brightness.
Well, doing theaters 10 years ago, to get that kind of performance, Gene, you'd had to drop 30, 40 grand. I mean, that's just the reality. It's insane. And what I like about Epson's the flexibility, the throw distance, they're just an easy projector to live with.
You know what's one thing that's cool about it too? They said it last night, at maximum brightness, it's only 30 dB SNR, so you don't really hear the fans at all, man. It's a quiet projector.
It's one of the little tips and tricks whenever somebody's doing a do-it-yourself theater that we've learned, like, using linear diffusers for the air to keep that noise floor down. But the performance was unbelievable. And that Polk audio system with the Denon receiver, it's not entry level, but in the world that we live in, I think the value proposition on that whole setup is ridiculous. That sounded great, and it looked amazing.
I can't believe those 4 Polk subs, which are only 12s, one in each corner. That thing was pressurizing the room.
Dude, I'm telling you, well, Polk's been killing it for a while. So
they really have.
no doubt.
Yeah. So what do you want to check out now?
Listen, this Focal room with their new high output LCR speakers, come on, you got to hear it, dude. So Focal, is dear to my heart, and I own Focals. I've loved the product, and as an integrator forever, I love the Focal CI product. What Focal did not have that they needed in their line was a system built for higher end high output system for theaters that's scalable. And there's some cool stuff in this. If I'll just do the quick rundown of it. A new beryllium tweeter design, and a new mid-range that's kind of taken from their Utopia architectural speaker system, only on a little bit larger version, and a 13-inch driver in this the super inert cabinet.
Holy
Check
cow.
this out. 95 dBs, Gene. This system's good for like up to 5 or 6 rows. What's cool about this too is you can stack these, dude. You can take this, put another one on top, wire it in such a way so it's like a Diapolito array, and now you're good for 10, 12, 15, 20 rows of seating. You could even stack a third one on and create almost a line array, and it has the wiring capability and adjustments to do that. That's out of the box for Focal, and I commend them because they really needed it to do that. Because a lot of other systems have done this. Remember the monitor audio we saw?
Yeah.
We looked at. Yeah, this is a next level, wholly different league from that system. They've got some new 13-inch subwoofers that are ported that are also high output. You can use multiple subs in the system. When you get to hear this, it's a game changer. I mean, the clarity, it has that signature Focal, very musical sound. People like to say bright. I don't. Maybe slightly forward and neutral, but these might even be more neutral. But
well, let's go take a listen. All right, guys, so we just got a chance to listen to this system. I really focused in on music. As you guys know, I'm a music fan. We listened to Rocket Man from Elton John in Atmos. Now, that song I'm kind of burned out on that song. Obviously, it's a classic. But when I heard it for the first time in spatial audio, the level of immersion I got in this room was really phenomenal. I wasn't expecting it because this is a large room. It's got acoustic tiles in the ceilings. They put in-ceiling speakers that directly correlate to the speakers that we have up here. So you had good coverage not only above you, but around you. And I heard layers in the vocals that I didn't hear in the 2-channel recording. And then the pianos, along with the Moog synthesizers and all that stuff. It was incredible, man. It was immersive. I wanted to sit there and just listen.
It was an amazing experience. Also, they had these custom designed Atmos surround music systems, if you remember seeing that. It's based on a tool that producers, when they're creating Atmos, and it would show you the music where it was and where it was going in the room, which was really cool. But man, how about that Top Gun Maverick? I mean, I know that's played next to Ready Player One. That is the other demo that everybody's sick of hearing. But man, again, when they pulled out and they dropped the bombs, the authority of the bass, and when they launched those SAMs at the F-18s and they were, hitting the flares, it was really, really interesting. It drew me right into it, even though I've heard it 100 times. So yeah, my hat's off to Focal. They needed to make this system. When they did, they knocked it out of the park.
I'm glad to see that they've really come together for a high output cinema application.
Well, and as a former integrator, this is the kind of sauce that we need. We need systems that are capable of filling these rooms at the reference levels that our clients demand.
All right, man. Well, let's go on to the next one.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're here with Jim Garrett from Harman. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm always loving to come and talk to Jim about new products from Harman. In this case, we got JBL Synthesis. You guys know I'm a big fan of. I love the JBL HDI series speakers as well. In the past, you've had rack-mountable amps, which were good performers. But one thing I noticed about them is you could hear fan noise if they were in the same room. You guys have addressed that. You have a whole new line of amplifiers with new Class D technology. Why don't you give us a rundown of these new synthesis amps?
So this is a new SMA series from JBL Synthesis. These have replaced the amps that we've had for the last several years, which were based on Pro amps. So in that case, those amps all ended up in equipment rooms, and so they were never concerned about the fan noise on it. We wanted to have something that was more specifically designed for a residential application. So address that fan noise, address some of the performance features and the connectivity that we wanted to have that's more focused on the residential market. So that's what we did with the SMAs. Two models in here, SMA 8300, SMA 4750. As their model names imply, they are 8x300 and 4x750. Bridgeable. You can see from the front panel, nice display on the front so you can configure everything from there. Very powerful DSP in them. So we can do anechoic speaker EQs and the menus there. We've got compressor limiters, matrix switching. We have XLR inputs on them, binding post outputs. So everything really ideally set up for that. And then as you mentioned on the fans, rather than venting them out the front, they're now side to side vented, a much quieter fan system. We don't hear anything here out of these racks despite the power levels that we're putting out.
And I believe you're using a new Ice Edge module on these?
Ice power modules that we use in these, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
So
these are excellent amps. We measured them before. I like the fact that you're putting all this DSP functionality into the amplifier, so it's not just a dummy amp, it's actually got real utility to it.
Yep.
So what are the prices on these?
They're, well, it depends now because it's August 1st. So
Oh, true.
originally as they went out at $5,000 and $6,000. So yeah, we'll see where they're at as the tariffs continue to affect everything. We're using two of the SSW3s up front, which are the dual 12s. So left and right in the front of that. We got SCL2s around the screen, SCL6s on the sides, SCL5s overhead.
Sweet, sounds good. All right, thanks. So Don, I think we should look at some 2-channel stuff. What are you thinking we should do?
Dude, right here, my boy Jeff's system right here. the
JTR 140 dB.
The Kalos. I think in Greek that means badass.
So the idea behind the Kalos is that he wants the same kind of output that he has in his bigger box products.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jeff had
shallower
talked to me and a
capital.
bunch of other people about a more manageable size, because most of the JTR stuff's gigantic, ginormous. And from what I heard earlier, dude, check it out, Gene. I want you to hear it.
Let's go listen. We got to hear these new JTR speakers, and man, Jeff put on Madonna Vogue. I wasn't expecting much when he said, let's listen to Madonna. I'm like, okay, let's listen. What I heard was, it sounded like it was in surround sound. The strike the pose with the clapping of the hands, far panning to the left, the vocals far panning to the right. I was hearing incredibly good separation from a pair of speakers that were probably 4 feet apart from each other, right? They were pretty close together.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put my lace gloves on and some beads, man. I mean, I was totally into it, dude. No, that sounded great.
And the cool thing is he's got these really compact 12-inch subs. They hit the brown note pretty well.
Sure. I mean, well, not so much that they hit low, Gene, is that I think Jeff told me he was crossing these over about 100. These 12s play much higher than that, and they're very, very articulate. They paced and kept up with the satellites incredibly well. I think they're one of the best sounding 12s I've ever heard in my life. I mean, and we couldn't obviously go crazy here in the hotel room, but man, I'm sure these things dig deep. I mean, it was spectacular.
What'd you think about the Fleetwood Mac demo?
Well, yeah, I just saw Stevie Nicks in concert, about a year and a half ago, and man, it was awesome. It was open, clean. Every layer and every detail was in it. I mean, Jeff's onto something with these speakers because they're flexible. He's got them on stands. You can mount these around a monitor. You could have a direct view LED display, a projector. You could mount them on a wall with a small baffle wall behind a screen. I think even Jeff said they'll play over 120 dBs continuously, and the way they're designed. And JTR, everything they make is high output or RTJ. I think he's got a home run. He really needed to make this product for a while, and he's going to open a lot of doors for people who have family rooms, living rooms, or even full tilt theaters that just don't want to invest in the gigantic JTR typical speakers.
I like the aesthetics of the cabinets. I like the footprint of the cabinets. The subwoofer especially, I'm really into it. Speaking of subwoofers, I think what we should check out is MartinLogan's got some new subs.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, let's go check that out.
Yeah.
So Don, MartinLogan, ESL speaker technology, everybody loves it, but some people forget that MartinLogan makes some serious subwoofers. The Dynamos, the Balance Force, you remember the Balance Force?
Oh, the Balance
at
Force.
Cedia?
People don't think they realize how good MartinLogan subs have always been.
Yeah.
The Balance Force is one of my top 5 subwoofers of all time.
It is really incredible. I like the Abyss because it's compact.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got a lot of technology that's got Anthem Arc in it. But now they just released some serious subs, the Grotto.
I haven't seen them.
We gotta go check
Grotto?
this out. Grotto. Just
Under the water,
alone.
under the
Let's go
waterfall.
check this out.
All right, let's do it. I'm excited.
All right, so we just got to hear a demo of the Martin-Logan 7.7.4 system with their new subwoofer, right? What did you think about it, Don?
Well, let me talk about the ESLs real quick for a minute. As somebody who's sold them, been around them, owned 3 or 4 pair over the years, this is the first time I've heard an ESL-based surround system that I feel like I could actually live with day in and day out. With the dynamics, it was spooky good. Mm-hmm. The subs are incredibly dynamic, but they're very tight. The bass was articulate and tight. Like when T-Rex was stomping, a lot of times on some of the subs, on Ready Player One, sometimes that bass will linger and the bass came up and then it went away like it's supposed to, like really, really good subs should. Yeah, these are amazing, dude. I love this whole system. It might be the best demo I've heard so far at this show.
That's pretty strong because we had some good demos here.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed the music when we were listening to Bruno. That's like my kid's favorite. But hearing all the vocals and the spatiality that was in, this is a large room and this is a hard room to get good bass. And subjectively, I felt like the subs could have been turned up. And I was talking to Andrew Lindsey, and he's like, oh, we only have them at 50%. I'm like, let's crank these up next time because there's obviously more headroom in these subs. This is a big room. But like you said, Don, I felt like the bass was really tight. They didn't even run Trinnov waveform. They just ran the regular optimizer in here, and it still sounded really tight and well integrated.
We need to acknowledge, though, how good that video looked in here from the JVC.
Absolutely.
Especially on that animation, dude, to bring in the audio together. That's why I would say it's probably the best demo. Holistically, it was just everything worked. It was a great synergy.
Yeah. Well, Don, I appreciate your input. I want to get Andrew Lindsey here so we could talk tech about these subs.
The man.
All right, so we're here with Andrew Lindsey from MartinLogan. How you doing, Andrew? It's been a while.
Fantastic. It has, yeah.
So every time I meet you, we're always talking about new subwoofers. Last time it was the Dynamo and then the Abyss.
Yeah.
I love
we're
the
always
Abyss.
talking bass, aren't we?
Yeah, we love bass, right? So I've got the Abyss 8. I'm using that in my desktop system.
Yeah.
I did a review on it. It's a compact little bruiser.
Yeah, it is. It's just a workhorse and tiny.
Yeah,
Right?
but we like big subs.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what are
we
you
do.
unveiling today?
Well, actually, we have our Grotto 15 and Grotto 12. This is the first time we've actually played them in the U.S. These will be shipping towards the end of the year. Because after Audio Advice last year, when we introduced the other series up through Abyss, first question we got, well, where are the 12s and the 15s? And we had to kind of just hint that maybe something was coming.
Right.
So here, now it's finally time. So these will be available towards the end of the year. Everything that the Abyss has, this is just turned up to 11. So instead of 8 and a 10, these are 12 and 15. They still have those incredible aluminum drivers. And this time we're actually backing it with a 1,000-watt RMS amplifier, 2,000-watt peak. So we gave it more power, additional bracing, and much larger drivers.
So the 12 and the 15 have the same amplifier
They do.
rated? Okay.
They do.
So now let's just go over the technology here. These are not ported subs, they're not sealed subs, they're passive radiators. So you have a one active driver and then double the cone area, passives, force canceling, one on each side, right?
Correct, yeah. So this gives us the output of a larger driver, at least at the lower frequencies, and that keeps our cabinet size more approachable. Not that a 15-inch is ever going to be a small subwoofer by any means, but for the output these are capable of, this is not a very large footprint. So the idea is to deliver, lots of bass output in a size that's more practical.
It's actually a very manageable size. So when you look at it, what's the dimensions of it? Do you remember?
That one's about I want to say a rough 22-inch cube. I don't know if you can curl this one though, Gene.
Maybe leg press it.
Maybe.
All right, so what are the prices on them, and are they only available in black?
Only in gloss black, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any color you like, as long as it's gloss black.
yeah.
Yep. Target is $26.99 for the 15 and $21.99 for the 12, pending final pricing.
So this uses the same app that we are familiar with Abyss. It's got ARC,
Absolutely.
but it doesn't include the mic.
$49.99, you get the mic. Or
Okay.
if you have one from another Anthem product, all the mics are backwards compatible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same ARC Genesis for Mac or PC, and of course the sub control app for iOS or Android, so that way you don't have to go fiddle with knobs on the back.
So I love the app. I love ARC. ARC is such a simplistic system to use. You could go in there and you could edit it. It's just so intuitive. You guys have done a great job with that. I also love the app because I control my family. I can turn on the subwoofer sweep tones, and when they're sitting around from the other room, they have no idea that bass is coming at them. So check out my video on the Abyss 8 if you want to see that.
And for guys like you, we actually do have a passcode lock, so people can't get in the app if you want.
That's good to know. Don't tell my wife. So Andrew, I appreciate you dropping the knowledge on these subwoofers. I have one last question for you.
All right.
Balance Force is still my favorite sub from MartinLogan. Are we
Yes.
going to see a refreshment on those
Well,
subwoofers soon?
that would make a whole lot of sense, wouldn't it?
All right. Well, guys, we will be back with Andrew next time to talk about more subwoofers.
So Gene, I have a Sony TV dealer and projection and video dealer forever, including the audio.
Yeah.
You haven't really had a chance to check out the newer line that came out. I've had some training on it. We'll go check it out. Talk
Yeah,
about it.
we covered all the audio stuff. We got to definitely cover some video stuff in
100%, dude. And Sony's dear to my heart. So.
And I think Kayvon's in there, man. You guys could go.
Oh, my boy.
You could
Yeah,
wrap
let's
some
check it
Sony
out.
TVs.
All right, Kayvon. Hey, everybody. I am here with a very good friend of mine. This is Kayvon from Sony. How you doing, brother?
Good, Don. How are you?
He's the man in a multitude of ways. So, as you guys know, I've been a high-end integrator for 33 years, and through that entire time, even when I worked retail back in the day, Sony was always the king of TVs. And I know a lot of competition has come up, but at the end of the day, Sony's the only company that has the cameras that film, they make the equipment that processes, and also to the home.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the 5.
Yeah, the 5 is actually a new refresh for 2025. We went from full array local dimming to mini LED, but keeping it at the same price of the X90. So this is also our lowest priced TV that does that XR processor you were talking about.
Right.
And actually all of these TVs we'll be showing are all XR processors.
Which is a core technology that we talked about. It's just different varying levels on it, correct?
Exactly.
So 7 series.
Yeah, the 7 series is actually a carryover from 2024. This is also mini LED, but has more zones of local dimming.
Okay.
So it is a clear step up in terms of performance from the 5. And then you can also do the Leon frame. So if you're looking for an aesthetic piece, the 7 is the lowest price option we offer. We can add the Leon frame to.
Yeah. Now the 8, this is OLED, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Both of our Bravia 8s are OLED. What denotes the difference is the Bravia 8 TV without the Mark II denotion is going to be a white OLED, and the Bravia 8 Mark II is going to be the quantum dot OLED. So being a QD OLED, brighter, also maintains better color saturation at higher brightness. So this is now starting to compete.
I know Sony makes these really high-end commercial monitors that like Netflix and different companies actually use.
I'm glad you brought that up, is the Bravia 9 uses the same driver for the mini LEDs that professional display uses.
Really?
So what a better, earlier we talked about lens to living room and what Sony does on both sides and why it's important to have commercial and residential technology. They intermingle with each other, and you can now, instead of paying $1,000 per inch, which is what that commercial display costs, this guy for a 65 inch is a lot more affordable, relatively speaking.
Wow.
And this actually won King of TV in 2024 when they did a separate mini LED and OLED shoot.
Whoa.
So it's really tough. Between these two guys, what we wanted to do is make sure that we didn't offer or have to push anyone into OLED or mini LED.
Gotcha.
We wanted to give a flagship option in both, and that's where the Bravia 8 Mark II and the Bravia 9 kind of play.
I know OLED's always been the king of black levels, but man, dude, it's damn close. Like,
there's more to our content than just that super dark content. Now, if you have a horror movie fan or a scary movie fan, of course the OLEDs are going to really shine. But outside of those few seconds or minutes in a movie, what else are you getting? And that's kind of where the Bravia 9 can pick up some of the slack. But also, again, when you see OLED black, you can't unsee it. So it's really tough.
I don't know, man. Look at that, dude.
Does a great job, right?
I don't know.
And even with us all the way up on it, Donnie, normally these are not supposed to perform well off angle, but because this has what's called X wide angle, it performs well even with you and me on these extreme angles. Does a great job with handling blooming and overall viewing.
Well, I'm super excited. I'm going to be reviewing one of your new 98 inches. I'm super excited about that.
Awesome.
And maybe with my move, you can come up and help me get that set up and all that. So
always a pleasure,
appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. You guys are rock.
Thank you, brother.
So Gene, man, listen, we've been here listening to all these great speakers, but you know what a big giant fan I am of isolation and isolation products, and you know the king of isolation products is Isoacoustics. So what do you think, man? You got to hear their demo.
A couple of years ago at AudioVice, they did a demo with Focals, with and without Gaia, right up against each other, and there was definitely a difference. There was a difference in the presentation. There was a difference in just the decay of the music. I really am a believer of using isolation feet when you can. I've got them on my Perlison S7Ts, which are incredibly inert cabinets to begin with, and I've got their Isoacoustic center channel stand on my Perlison center channel as well, so I'm a really big fan. Now, they have some new product here that you're holding. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? The Gaia Neo.
Yeah, Gaia Neo. Going back for years and years, I started using Isoacoustics products originally as center channel stands, then as monitor stands, and then acoustic pucks. And there's a lot of things in audio, and you're the king of no snake oil. The Isoacoustic product is not snake oil, and they can prove it. They prove it over and over audio shows. So the Gaia feet have been kind of an industry standard. In fact, some speaker brands like PSB and whatnot include them from the factory. They believe in them so much. Not sitting on their laurels, what Isoacoustics done is improved the product. It's a beefier, heavier product, but one of the things I like about it is now you can actually adjust it without having to take anything off or move anything around. I mean, that's kind of genius, and I applaud them for that. I mean, it's just a fantastic product. Everything they make that I've tried works splendidly in my office on my monitor stands. They're subwoofer isolators and stands. Absolutely, you can hear a demonstrable difference. You take a sub, put it on the ground, even on rubber feet, you put it on their isolation stand. You can absolutely, it's clearer, tighter, cleaner bass. The same with tower speakers. And if you don't believe me, Isoacoustics will show you. They'll demonstrate it to you.
Yeah, I mean, they show the measurements before and after. The cool thing about that adjustability is if you need to tilt the speaker, let's say like you have the Orendal 1528.
Right.
You like to tilt those a little bit to get a better image.
If you need to tilt them forward or tilt them up, or if you have a smaller tower and you need to tilt it. I even use their acoustic pucks and the Gaia feet on the bottom of speaker stands and the acoustic pucks between the monitor or a bookshelf speaker and the speaker stand. That isolation absolutely makes a difference, and this is just a product. It's an evolution of what they've already made that was a fantastic product to start with. I'm excited to try them out in some of my products in my home.
For sure. Well, guys, that is a wrap of AudioVice Live 2025. Don, I loved taking you on a tour and just talking audio with you. We had a great show. This is an enjoyable event. This is the 4th year in a row. If you haven't come to AudioVice Live before, you definitely should check it out next year. Same location, Raleigh, North Carolina.
It's probably the most chill audio show that you're going to come to.
Yeah, it's meant for consumers. You get to meet the manufacturers. You get to meet the YouTubers like us. So guys, if you like this video, please hit the thumb up, hit subscribe. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.
And use these.
And now, wait a minute, I'm having a brain fire. I was going to ask you a question.
All right, whenever y'all ready.
All right. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
You want me to go or you want to
No, Kayvon.
go? Kayvon, hello.
Yeah, hello. Things you never hear in an audio show. All right, you ready? You say OM, big guy.